We're speaking with Tracy Letterman, Vice President of Federal Affairs for the Humane Society Legislative Fund, and Lisa Watney, Senior Strategist of Captive Wildlife for the Humane Society of the United States. Lisa, do we know how many privately owned big cats there are across the country?
Unfortunately, we don't. There is no federal agency that tracks these animals, but in general, it's estimated that there are 5,000 to 7,000 tigers in captivity in the United States.
You know, I've talked about this on the show before. It's been estimated that there are only around 3,800 tigers remaining in the wild today. 3,800. Tragically, there are more tigers in captivity than in the wild. Most of these beautiful creatures are kept in captivity in zoos, are kept as exotic pets, or bred to produce products like baby cubs. Tracy, I would think there are laws to prevent this kind of animal abuse and exploitation of owning and exploiting wild animals. Are there animal protection laws and regulations that protect these animals?
Well, a few states have these public contact bans on the state level, but there's no national ban preventing these public contact activities, and that's what's needed here.
Tell us about the Big Cat Public Safety Act.
So the Big Cat Public Safety Act, it was introduced by Representatives Quigley and Fitzpatrick on the House side and Senator Blumenthal on the Senate side. And the bill does two main things. So first, it prohibits individuals from keeping big cats as pets. Because big cats, they don't belong in basements or backyards. And this is just common sense.
Right.
Cats have complex behavioral and veterinary needs that can't be met by pet owners. Also, keeping big cats as pets is harmful for public safety reasons because they can escape, they can injure and kill people. And since 1990, there have been at least 400 dangerous incidents involving captive big cats. And that includes 5 children and 19 adults who have been killed, and then hundreds others that have lost limbs or suffered traumatic injuries. And the National Sheriff's Association and the Fraternal Order of Police, they support the bill. Because when these dangerous situations occur with big cats, it's the first responders who are usually called to deal with the situation, even though these officials typically do not have training in handling these animals. And then the second thing the bill does, it prohibits public contact with big cats. So big cat encounters such as petting, feeding, swimming, taking selfies with the cubs would be prohibited. And this is really important for a few reasons. So first, the ban is needed for the health and welfare of the cubs. So the cubs are taken from their mothers as newborns and deprived of proper maternal care, and this harms their healthy development. Mm-hmm. And then the excessive handling makes the cubs vulnerable to disease, and then it deprives them of sleep. And then also there's public safety concerns, because even though the person may be handling a cub, they can still scratch and bite. And then finally, the ban is important to prevent irresponsible breeding, because after just a few months, when the cubs are too large to be easily handled, they end up warehoused in these substandard facilities like roadside zoos or with private individuals, or killed. But to keep the money flowing from these public contact activities, new cubs are continually produced, resulting in this never-ending cycle of big cats being born, used for public contact, and then disposed.
Okay, so in summary, the Big Cat Public Safety Act will prohibit the private possession of wild cats and no cub petting, no photo ops, right?
It would prohibit specifically public contact, right?
I see. And big cat meaning all lions, tigers, leopards, cheetahs, jaguars, right?
That's right. So people like Joe Exotic would be prevented from offering public contact encounters, and only a small number of facilities offer these activities. But this small group causes a significant amount of harm. The vast majority of zoos operate successfully without offering these encounters, and so they would not be impacted by this bill.
What's the status of the bill now, and what are the next steps?
So it's really fantastic that there's this public dialogue going on now about banning cup petting and keeping big cats as pets, because the fact is banning these inhumane practices should not be controversial. So on the House side, there's momentum towards passage. There are 230 co-sponsors. So that's well over half of the House. So the bill passed out of committee in September, and it's teed up for a vote by the full House. And our hope is that given the widespread attention to these issues, House leadership will allow the bill to move forward and receive a vote. And then on the Senate side, we want to encourage the public to contact their senators in support of this bill, because the more senators that hear from their constituents about the bill, the better chance it has for passage by the end of the year.
What else can listeners do to help?
Please reach out to your members of Congress. And if you need help finding their contact information, you can go to hslf.org and click Take Action for the Big Cats Bill.
hslf.org. Let federal legislators know that you're supporting the Big Cat Public Safety Act. Ask your member of Congress to support the Big Cat Public Safety Act as well. Don't support the industry. You don't need a selfie with a baby tiger. Educate your family and friends. Tigers are not domesticated cats. They are wild animals who need to remain in the wild.